Okay.
Hey guys, welcome back to the 101 in 10, where you get to see your favorite indie artists from around the world 101 in 10 minutes. I'm your host, Ayasha Roberson, and I have this great band with me this Tuesday, January 11th. Happy New Year, guys. We have a great and talented indie rock band from Chicago, Illinois, or
In
Texas,
Texas.
Texas, I should say. And they are awesome. I love their hard, acoustic, rough, and raw sound. Give it up for Metal Bird.
Thank
Woo!
you.
Thank you, Aisha.
So excited. Now, you guys know Indie Love music listeners know that your songs are playing on the radio station. So we want to, before we talk about your song, I want to talk a little bit about your musical influences. So Suzanne and Sly are here today. Tell me about your musical influences and how you got started with your band.
Well, I grew up singing in churches, and my dad always used to play stuff like Fleetwood Mac and Simon and Garfunkel. And, I grew up with Madonna and Pat Benatar and Michael Jackson and, all of those like early 80s influences. And then when I like got older, I started getting into rock, like especially the grunge scene, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Nirvana, Soundgarden. So I started going over there, and then, my musical influences just blew up, and I love all genres of rock. It's awesome.
Wow. That's a great, you got a nice melting pot of different influences coming from different types of genres, which is great, which makes you the artist that you are today. So Sly, what are your musical influences and what got you started in the band?
Um, Everything came from family. My parents were big record collectors, so
Oh,
so they had a record collection, and everybody when they would come over, other family, and everybody's a little bit older than me and my family, so they had like the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and by the time the 80s were coming to an end, and I was trying to find my musical, as a kid, it's like I want to be a guitar player. Then, then Rage and Live and all of those bands came out, but I was drawn back to all that earlier stuff, right? I mean, earlier like classic rock and that kind of thing. Just because I had heard it so many times as a kid, is like, I'm one of those kids in school. I'm all right. I don't need to be hip. But there was a bunch of us in school like that, so it was cool.
that's awesome. So you have a definitely different background than Suzanne, which kind of allows for the music to infuse together. I like your
And
sound. I'm sorry.
thank you. It leads to a lot of arguments sometimes with Suzanne, where she's like, I want it to sound more like Courtney Love and Hole, music wise, and you're giving me AC/DC. But then we
Yeah,
compromise.
Aiden. And yeah, and so we're just like we argue back and forth, and we eventually kind of like mix the sounds together because I sing more like the 90s grunge girls, like,
Oh, yes.
and his guitar playing is definitely like early 80s, so we kind of have mixed our sound, and that's what gives us our I don't know if it's a unique sound, but it's definitely the Metal Bird sound. Yeah.
Wow, I love it. Now, Suzanne, are you, I know you're the lead singer, but are you also the songwriter as well, or is that a mixture?
Yeah, me and Rye actually write all the songs. Yeah, we collaborate on everything that we do. Like if I'll be at work and I'll come up with a lyric in my head and I'll write it down and I'll call him immediately and be like, "Oh, I just, came up with this." And he'll do the same. Like he'll be at home and he'll be strumming his guitar and be like, "Oh, I just came up with something," and he'll play it for me and we'll work it out together, and we're like, "Oh yeah, that's good. Oh no, that's not good. Keep this part and I'll keep that part."
Love it.
But ultimately I have the last say because I have to sing it. So so I get the last final overview of the song to say, okay, I can sing that part. I'm not singing that.
Okay.
It's happened quite a bit. Like if I write with Kevin a lot, the bass player, and and we'll give it to her, and she's like, no, it's yeah.
Yeah, I'm always like, no, this isn't gonna work.
Yeah. I mean, like, I can feel you because you're the one that got to sing it. You be like, nah, no. You
Yeah,
got
I
to write.
feel
I'll put something else in. But I like the fact y'all are on the same musical frequency because you said you be at work, you get a thought, you call him, and then he's doing his thing, and it gels together. It doesn't sound like it's mismatched. And I think sometimes a lot with indie artists, they're not able to get the sound to sound together. They're not on the same frequency as the people in their group. And I think what makes your group so unique is that y'all all on the same frequency and your music comes together. Even though y'all may have your little spats, which is fine. It just it just comes together. That's just all part of being a part of a group, you know what I mean?
it is. When you have to like deal with like three other different human beings, and especially they're all guys, and yeah, it's I have a uphill battle every day when I fight with these guys. So, but in the end, I always come out on top.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. Now, let's talk a little bit about your new song. Just so you know, how did you come up with that song? Who was the person producing that song? I want to know as well, because you have a lot of music, and I think your music is great. But I want to talk specifically about that song.
We had this song for a while and didn't have any lyrics for it. We had tried many different kinds of approaches to it. And Suzanne, in her infinite wisdom, as normal, said, "This is a song about somebody I know."
Wow.
And, that's a lot of it. Everything we write is about people we know, right? Because everyone's got such good stories. And Suzanne just kind of tweaked it.
Yeah, well, that song started off really, really differently than what it ended up being. Remember when he first played it for me, it was more of a kiss sound. Do you remember that?
Yes,
Yeah.
keep going.
The beginning, it was like, oh my God, this is really Kiss. And it was like, this is good stuff. Okay. And then it kind of slowly changed into more heavier than like a Kiss sound. And
it went more classic rock as well. It had like a lighter part in the middle, but it stuck to the dead.
Yeah, it's funny how like a song will start one way and will end up completely different at the end of it. And this was definitely one of those songs where it was more of a definitely like a Kiss kind of like up rock song, and it ended up, yeah. But I love Just So You Know.
I would never know that it evolved from one thing to the next. Like I thought it started. Yeah, sorry. Right. Go ahead.
No, it was Suzanne has the ability when we start playing or rehearsing, she's like, okay. Then it leads to some head bumping. And then, this particular song was a combination of a few songs. And we just decided, all right, Suzanne, however you want to streamline it. And that's why it sounds, so classic rock. Again, back to the influences.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm so excited. Okay. So we only got like a couple more minutes left. So I want to know about any upcoming performances, how people can book you, how people can get in contact with you guys, and how they can get a hold of your latest music.
Well, we have no upcoming shows lately because it's been the holidays and, family commitments and work commitments. And, we all work full time for a living. So we're very short on time, but we are in the studio recording new stuff right now. We're working on some new songs, some new lyrics, some new ideas for our upcoming album, which I don't know when it'll be done, but it should be done sometime this year, right?
Okay, cool.
We're hoping.
We're hoping. So you can always get a hold of us on our website. It's the www.themetalbyrds, and that's birds with a Y instead of an I. And we are really, really active on Twitter, and our handle is @themetalbyrds. And you can also contact us through Facebook. And we are the Metal Byrds Band. And then again, you can hear us on all the streaming services, you know, Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Apple, Amazon, Deezer, iHeartRadio, all of them.
Great.
Wherever you listen to music, will be on there. And we're also on a site called Bandcamp, which really gives, you know, music artists and especially indie artists, you know, a good platform to be on. So look for us on Bandcamp too.
Wow, I'm excited. So you guys heard it. Make sure you connect with them, follow them, make sure you book them for upcoming appearance for 2022, because their music is really great and they got some great projects coming up. So we're going to have you back on a follow-up show so you can tell us more
Yes.
about the new album, new single,
Yeah.
and what to look forward to. And thank you guys so much for joining me on the 1 and 1 and 10. I'm so excited and so honored to have you guys.
Thank you for having
Thank
us.
you.
You're
Yes.
welcome. And 1 and 1 and 10ers, make sure you check out the brand new show next week as I feature a new indie artist from around the world, 1 on 1 in 10 minutes. I'm your girl, Ayasha Roberson. Thank you guys for joining us. Have a good day. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.